Hey guys, this is Patrick Freeman here in Chongqing, China. Today is January 29th. It's about 12:45 p.m. Today is the sixth video that I'm uploading that documents my experience and also where I share some of the news and information that I'm getting from over here. But before I get started with the updates, I want to share something with you that really I'm somewhat upset about this particular situation. Toy Toy told me this morning that the United States had sent in a warship into the South China Sea. I actually did some research. Japan Times, New York Times, and a couple of their large media organizations or news organizations had published articles in regards to that. And I just want to say that it really saddened me that we would do something like that, especially with what's going on here in China. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, maybe like 200 plus. And I'm grateful and thankful for every single one of you, but I'm going to call upon every single one of you, and even those who aren't subscribers that are visiting this channel. I am asking you to do me a huge favor. I want you to share this with your group of people. I'm a big believer in 6 degrees of separation, and there's probably somebody within my 200 that knows the president or knows someone who knows the president and can get this message to him. And I say this respectfully, Mr. President. Now is not a good time to be sending warships into the South China Sea. Instead of sending warships, here's my suggestion. Why don't you load up, I believe there's about 2 or 3 Mercy ships, and why don't you load up a couple of cargo ships as well with medical supplies, with protective eyewear, with masks, with food, with support, with medical personnel, and send them to China. Now, I know you've offered help to China. I don't know if they've accepted that help. Even if they haven't accepted the help, this is what I would do. This is my recommendation. You send all these ships towards China, and you set up right outside in international waters, and you offer them help. You extend that hand, and if they don't take it, that's okay. That's China's business. But you stand out there, you put those ships out there, not warships, but you put ships out there that can help these people and help this country squash this issue. As a stand in solidarity towards this country, for this country, and what they are experiencing. So that's my plea. That's what I'm asking you to do, to consider instead of sending warships out here. I'll leave it at that. And then I want to tell you guys, my subscribers and anybody that visits this channel, in regards to what I just said, I don't want this to turn into a political conversation. I don't want to see in the comments section about how bad Trump is or how good Trump is. I don't want to make this a political channel. I want to make this, originally it was about traveling in China and seeing some of the wonderful places that you can see out here. But, things have changed, and now it's turned into kind of a daily diary of my experience. And I hope very soon that it'll go back to traveling and sharing my experiences with you, documenting my experiences in this country. I don't want it to turn political. So do me a huge favor, keep the political comments out. If I do see political comments starting to land on this page, I will actually block you. To where you can't make comments. You can actually make comments all you want, just nobody's going to see it. So I'm going to control that. Like I said, this is about people having another resource to come to and get educated, at least from a firsthand experience as to what's going on, and without any fear mongering, just information that I'm gathering and my own personal experience and how I feel about it. So, having said all that, let's start with the updates. Confirmed cases, there are 500, and this is as of January 29th, which is today, probably earlier this morning. 5,999 cases, that's confirmed cases. Suspected cases, 9,239. Deaths, 132, which is up just a little bit from yesterday. And there have actually been 104 cures. As far as countries that have confirmed cases, Thailand has 14 confirmed cases, 5 cures. No deaths. Japan, 7 no deaths, 1 cure. And then all the rest of these are no deaths, no cures, but just confirmed cases. 5 in the United States, 5 in Australia, 4 in France, 4 in Korea, 4 in Germany, 3 in Malaysia, 2 in Vietnam, 1 in Nepal, 1 in Canada, 1 in Cambodia, and 1 in Sri Lanka. Regarding Chongqing, there are 147 confirmed cases as of today, January 29th, which is it's a small jump, only about 15 new cases from yesterday. Chongqing has gone from 3rd most infected down to the 6th, as there's a lot of other provinces that are now getting more cases. Chongqing also had its first cured patient in Wushan. I don't know if that's Wushan or Wuhan. I will clarify that and put it here at the bottom of the screen. Tibet has had its first suspected case, but has so far had no confirmed cases at all. 132 deaths, but also 104 cures. So, as Mikkel says, we're catching up. You've probably seen this, but I thought this was interesting that the White House this is out of the Washington Examiner, and there's several other news organizations that have released the same information. But the White House is now considering suspending all China-U.S. flights amid the coronavirus outbreak, which I think is a really, a very interesting statement that the U.S. is making. It's got to scare China, because that's a lot of revenue that's coming into the country and money that's being spent here, and for them to lose that wouldn't be good. And I understand the reason. I totally understand the reason. It's a precaution. It's a precautionary measure to make sure that it's not spread further. But I think what will happen if the U.S. does do that, I believe that you're going to see other countries follow suit. And financially, that's obviously going to hurt China. But each country has to do what they feel is the best thing to do for their citizens, and that's where we're at on that. I just want to talk about how am I feeling? Well, I wasn't quite honest with you guys yesterday as to what I wasn't honest about in the 5th upload. Was the past couple of days I've actually been feeling kind of sick, kind of achy, a little bit of a temperature. 2 days ago I had a temperature of about 100 degrees, achy, joints kind of hurting, headache. And I wouldn't say that I was flipping out or really worried about it, but I was definitely doing the thing that we all do. First thing we go to Google, and we start trying to self-diagnose ourselves, and the whole several hours I'm trying to figure out, do I have it, do I not have it, do I have it, do I not have it. And I actually reached out to a friend and asked him about it. And so one of the points that I made yesterday in the 5th upload was people who are sick at home might actually get pressure from family not to go to the hospital, or they may not want to go to the hospital because they're afraid they'll expose themselves to either a flu or a cold or possibly the virus. So, I suspected that people were getting pressure, sick individuals within the household were getting pressure from family not to go. Well, I actually experienced that a little bit. It didn't bother me. But they were trying to reason through it that, hey, if you go there, you could possibly get something else. You could get the flu. You could get that virus. We don't know what you have. You don't feel horrible. Let's stay here and let's try to nurse you back to health. And fortunately, today I actually started feeling much better. I actually feel about 95% better than I did the past 2 or 3 days. And I didn't want to dramatize these videos by saying I'm sick, I think I have it, because that just would have been stupid, and that's not the point of these videos. But I have been sick for the past couple of days. So, when you're here and that's going on and you're sick, I mean, you really start to feel kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how to express my feelings, but it was just an uncomfortable feeling to think that I could actually possibly have that, because I'm so near the epicenter, and then there's people here in Chongqing that have it. So I was a little worried, but I feel a lot better now. I've been taking I showed it the other day, the little emergency 1,000 milligram vitamin C packs. I take that every day. Whenever I go out, I'm using a new mask. I've several commenters on the channel have been saying, you know, change out your mask frequently. Actually, probably several times a day if you're outside for an extended period. Oh, you know, I'm doing this. I forgot to mention this. Oh, yeah. Huh? What do you think of that? Some of you may not know what this is, but this is called a neti pot. And this has been a lifesaver. Anytime I've had the flu or cold or allergies, I grab this. What happens is with the neti pot, when you buy this from a pharmacy, you get a bunch of packs of salt in there. You pour the salt in there. You pour warm water. You want to make sure that the water is filtered water or distilled water. I actually use distilled water, and I boil it and then put it in there with the salt and let the temperature go down to a comfortable, like, body temperature level. And you pour it in one nostril and it goes up into the nasal cavity, cleans it out, and all this mucus comes out. And you do both sides. And actually I'll typically do it twice, for the first time, and then maybe one or two more times during the day and once before I go to bed. But it really cleans you out. I would assume if there's any bacteria, whatever, you know, viruses, whatever that's up there would be washed out or sterilized because of the salt. This is a lifesaver. So expats, if you're here in China, jump on Taobao and see if you can pick up one of these, because it really does. It makes you feel better physically, and psychologically it makes you feel better because you know you're cleaning stuff out. So I've been very vigilant about all of these things, even washing my hands. But overall, the spirits are good here. I mean, we're playing a lot of board games. We're, you know, learning more Chinese. I'm learning more Chinese. People are just getting closer during this event, and that's a good thing. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate the continued support, prayers, comments, information that you guys are sharing. As a reminder, make sure that we're not trolling anybody and that we're being rude to anybody. This is a place, I want to call it a safe place. Patrick's Safe Place YouTube channel, where we can talk about what's going on without people attacking each other or, you know, just being mean to each other. So let's be good to each other and continue the prayers for everybody throughout the world who's going through this and experiencing this. And hopefully President Trump has heard this message, and I really feel he should load up some ships and send them out here, like I said, and stand in solidarity outside in international waters until China says, you know, come on in. And I have a feeling that if he did that, that would just tear down some of these invisible, pardon the pun, invisible Chinese wall that has been built up around between these two nations. And I think that would do a lot to heal some of the hurts between the two of us. You know, neither nation is perfect, but, you know, we got to love each other where we're at. And if we can't do that, then, you know, it's just not good. We got to learn to love each other where we're at, and that heals. So thank you, guys. Take care. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.